We just sit here and talk to ourselves for, you know.
Hi, everybody. Let us know what you're reading and all that kind of good stuff. I was trying to just go going live and just going to start without you.
Read in the comments. We're involved.
It's just been one of those days.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hannah says, hi, everyone. I'm going to read Meg Langslow number 4. I'm currently at 30. Well, what happened to number 3? I thought you just finished number 2.
She probably already read it this afternoon, and she's
right. It's like I missed one. Hi, Cav says, hi, everyone. Enjoying cooler temps and a good book tonight. The Extraordinary Death of Miss Kit by Sarah Brunsvold. I have not ever heard of that one. Is it a good one? Because I've never heard of it. And Cav says, ooh, Hannah, I love Meg Langslow. I need to get on the ball and read the second one. She did say the second one was a lot better than the first one, so I need to push through and try it and see. Hi, Lauren says, hi, I'm reading Guns Also Rise by Sherry Harris. I'm part of the way through chapter 14 of 39. And Hannah says that she's loving it too. Well, that's good. Oh, and then there went the comments. There we are. Hi, Nancy says, hi, everyone. Tonight I'm reading Rainbow in the Mist by Phyllis Whitney. Interesting mystery. Cool.
I was going to say, it sounds like a mystery or a romance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think hers isn't hers kind of like gothic-y?
Gothic-y, yeah.
Hi, Sherry says, hello, everyone. Going to be listening to Front Desk by Kelly Yang and reading Farm to Trouble by Amanda Flower.
Nice.
Cajun says, hi, everyone. Reading Breakfast Pizza Murder. It's at Papa Porcelli's Pizzeria number 17.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I'm hungry.
And Nadine says, hi, everyone. I'm going to be reading Jen and Dagger, Jessica Fletcher Murder, She Wrote number 1.
Oh, nice.
I'm really curious to see what you think of that because I really need to read that. And I'm like one of those, even though they say that you can like just jump in anywhere, I'm going to have to start with number 1, just like you, and work my way through. And Anita says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Live or Let Try.
So am I.
Yay!
Hey, Mr. Francie says, hi, everyone. I'm currently reading Unbreakable by Jelena Doke. I probably pronounced that wrong. Good book, but an emotional read. All right. And Karen says, hi, everyone. Tonight I'll be reading The Narrow Boat Summer by Anne Youngson. Don't know that one either. Mel Mac says, hi, Stormy. Hi, Lee. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I'm reading Thread Reckoning by Amanda Lee, number 3 in embroidery. I'm on 59 of 322. Hello, book fan. Hi, Tammy.
Hello.
And, she said I read it on Saturday. I totally missed that. Yeah. And Scorpio Queen said, hi, everyone. I'm reading The Great Gatsby. How are you liking that? I know that one's kind of a hit or miss with people. And Melanie said, hi, all. I'm reading Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune.
Right.
And Jessica Lynn says, hello, everyone. I'll be starting one for the books, number 11 in Library Lovers series by Jen McKinney. Yay. Just finished Sarah's vlog, and you live in such a beautiful place. Great scenery. I haven't got to that yet, so something I need to get to.
All my walks last week.
Yes, I was very proud of you. I was like, yeah, come on. Sarah.
And I went out again this week. A quick funny story, because you'll appreciate it, because I know you're an exerciser as well. You know, not that I'm a big exerciser, but I just picked these routes, and I'm like, I don't know what the grade is or anything like that. And I'm hoofing it up this freaking hill that's like this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy comes out of the house with his dogs, and he's going the other way, and he goes, when you come back down, you're really going to appreciate it. So I looped around, and I'm coming back, and I'm like on the downside now, right? And he passed me the other way. He goes, told you so.
Nice.
I remember one time when me and my mom decided to take a walk. And there's like, a couple different ways you can go. We went this one way. We didn't really think about this hill that was there because when you drive it, it doesn't really seem like it's that big.
Yeah.
And so we walked it, and the one way isn't quite as bad as the other way. And then we turned around, we were like, oh, are we ever going to get to the top? And it's not even that big of a hill, but it sure felt like it was. We never went that way again.
That's right. Yeah. That'll teach you.
Everything looks different when you're driving by it, and so you're actually walking it.
Absolutely.
And Book Fan said reading the Marlowe Murder Club, about 70%.
70%. Nice.
And Melmac wants to know, are you enjoying Farm to Trouble, Sherry? I'm curious too, because I haven't tried that Amanda Flower. And Hannah says, Jessica, One for the Books is my favorite in the series. It is a good one, but they're all good. The Extraordinary Death of Mrs. Kipp is awesome. Women's fiction, friendship between an older lady in hospice care and a young reporter, and we get flashbacks into Miss Kipp's life. Funny and touching.
Okay, that sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds like you guys' kind. Maybe not mine.
Well, it doesn't come out till July.
Oh.
Put her on the list of things to look for.
Oh, believe me.
Probably got a long list, right?
It's a ridiculously long list, yes.
Hi, Andrea says, hi, everyone. I'm reading and maybe finishing Bayou Book Thief. Yay.
Nice.
How are you liking that one? I'm curious. And the Melmac says, Nita, are you enjoying Live or Let Chime? Jessica says, Hannah, yes, I heard it is a lot of people's favorites. I'm excited. And Hannah says, sometimes I forget to post in Discord about books I finish. Aha. See, that's probably I don't put a lot of my books in the currently reading, and then I put them in the finish. And I'm like, people are probably like, when did you start that? Hi, Jesse. Says hello, all. And Scorpio Coin says, I haven't started it yet, but I am anticipating reading it. Okay. And Anita said, so far it's good. And Sherry says, at Melmac and Storm, I am. Cool. Glad she's enjoying it. And V Reed says, hey, reading Hidden Pictures by Jason Rakula? Okay. Thriller something with the kid who draws creepy photos. Oh, sounds cool. And Melmac says, Lee, are you enjoying Living That Child?
I am. I am at 80% through, so I'm determined to get it done tonight.
So now we know what you're reading. What are you reading, Sarah?
I'm also determined to get a book done tonight. I am reading Undercover Colton by Rachel Lee, suspense novel, because, I have a reading vlog for my Harlequin books that's due to come out tomorrow. So I'm to get that done.
Right.
I'm at like 70%. I should be able to finish it, no problem.
I am going to hopefully get at least some of this done so that I'll get it done this week, but I don't think I'll finish it tonight. But I do need to get Onika and the Academy of the Sun by this lovely author right here that I am not even going to attempt.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm like, I know every time I have tried it, I butcher it. And if I even look it up, I'll forget it by the time I try to say it. So I'm like, I just keep holding it up and be like, here you go.
There you go.
Right here. It's the one where with the girl with the magic hair. So it's okay. So Andrea says, I'm liking it so far. There have been a few humorous moments and several secrets revealed. That's always fun. So, wow, I caught up on the comments. What happened? Yay! I'm going to ask a question so that if a whole bunch, we can always look at it next time after the reading sprint. But since it is close to the end of the month, what's everybody's favorite book they've read this month? So now everybody can think about it.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, I already know, but I'm like, was there another one? But I'm like,
I am that weird person who keeps a list and puts them in order because my wrap ups I do my least most right, so I know what my favorite book was. Unless something else that I read, but I don't think so.
So what is it?
Delilah Green. Delilah Green doesn't care. I love the heck out of that book. It was so good.
I had 3 5-stars, but I'm gonna put it down to The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand.
Oh, good for you.
And The Lights on Knockbridge Lane by Rowan Parrish.
Isn't that one so
I
good?
really enjoyed that one, yeah.
I'm so glad.
I really did.
We should buddy read the Halloween one in October.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm like into these. I'm like, all right, I'm invested in this town now. Let's go.
Well, there's 2 more before Knoxbridge Lane.
I gotta get back to those, yeah.
Yeah, because I jumped ahead to the Christmas one.
Yeah, I'm liking them. Yeah, for sure.
I think I only had 2 5-stars, and one was a reread of my favorite classic, so I'm not counting that one. But I'm looking just to make sure because I have to look because I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've had a pretty decent reading month, but I have my little spreadsheet I had to get.
God, I love me a good spreadsheet.
And my computer just doesn't like to cooperate.
Come on.
Oh, I like that Jessica guessed that Sarah.
Oh, I had 2 5-star reads this month. I forgot. The Heart-Shaped Murders by Denise N. Wheatley. That one was phenomenal.
So, yeah, I only had the 2, and Jane Eyre, which is my favorite classic, so of course it gets 5 stars, and then Wildfire by Ioana Andrews, which is the 3rd book in the Hidden Legacy series.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
You did talk a lot positively about that one, so.
Yes, I love that one. That one is one of the characters in that's featured in my mid-year book freakout tag that I need to edit. I've got it done. I did it today, and I had to redo my July TBR one, so I hadn't got it out yet. So I got to re-edit and all that kind of stuff.
I'm so excited about showing off my books for the retro.
Yeah, and I need to do that one too. And yeah, I've got like a whole bunch, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get to all these, but these are like some that I may have to break out.
63.
Wow.
It's the oldest Harlequin on my shelves.
I love that.
I may have to break out the whole Sarah wheel of TBR and like whatever.
I love the wheel. Laugh at the wheel, but I love the wheel. It does not steer me wrong.
Because it's like there's so many to choose from. It's like, oh, I don't know.
I know.
And I tried to pick out some that I knew that I think would fit at least for Lee's Jaws readathon, and then the prompts, and then just ones that I just really want to read that don't fit any prompts. I just want to read them.
I wonder if this one would fit because she's like water skiing on the cover.
Yeah, because that's like your water. You have the
Takes
water.
place on the water.
Right?
Takes place on the water.
Oh, in the Bahamas. Oh, see? Where she felt sure she would find herself a rich husband. Things were just simpler in the 60s.
In Bahamas also takes place on an island. So there you go.
There you go.
I just knocked myself out, you know.
There you go.
This is brilliant.
Okay, so I missed it by 1 minute, but we'll
That's okay.
read to the top of the hour and then come back and find out what everybody's favorites are.
Yay.
I'm really curious. Happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.
So how did everybody do?
I did pretty good, 87%, and helped make dinner. So
I got no reading done, but I ate dinner.
there you go.
So there we go.
Now you're ready to go. Now you've ate dinner.
Right? I was starving.
I know. I was going to say you said you were hungry, so I figured that's probably what you were doing.
Yep.
I got 2 pages done, or 2 chapters done of that. 2 pages, boy, that wouldn't have been very well.
Nice.
And so Annie says, "Hi everyone, reading Ravenscroft by Dorothy Eden. Very good so far." And I had to go look it up because that sounded like somebody I've heard before, and it is a older Gothic romance.
Ooh.
I had to
Nice.
put that on books I don't own list. And Jessica says, "I put the Magic Hair Girl book on my Goodreads because the story." Yeah, you know, it's your basic like build up like first book because it's a series. So like there's not a whole lot of stuff going on. She's at the academy learning about herself and like her stuff. I don't know exactly what it's called. It's like IKE, but it's got like a little, I don't know if it's Ike or Ike or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's Nigerian, and there's a lot of words I can't pronounce in it, and there's a lot of names I can't pronounce. And so, have you ever done that when you can't just make up your own?
Yeah.
So it's like when I talk about it, I'll be like, I'm not exactly sure how to say that because I say it one way, and it's probably different than what I'm saying.
And all those people who complain about audiobooks, how do you think I learn how to pronounce things? Is that I wouldn't know how to pronounce it unless I listen to it on audio.
Yeah, this is definitely one that would be good for that because it does have a lot of Nigerian type names in it and stuff. And they speak, is it Pidgin? Yeah. Pidgin?
Oh, Pigeon, yeah.
Pidgin English.
Yeah.
And so it to me, it's like a broken English or whatever. And it's really hard to, sometimes I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no clue what you're saying.
Well, it was weird when I started listening to God, what the hell's that one? The Electric Idol. I'm listening to it on audio and I'm like, wait a minute, they're British. Like the narrators are British, and I'm like, oh, because the first book I read in ebook, and I'm like, that just seemed weird. But sadly, this is really funny. So the guy, because it's a dual narration, the guy when he narrates, when he does this certain female's voice, for those of you who have ever watched Family Guy, he sounds like Stewie. I can't get it out of my head now. Every time this character talks, I'm like, it's Stewie.
I never watched that, but I could just see if it's like one of those weird like voices you can't get it. You get a picture.
I told Garrett, and he's like, "Oh, so it's like a hoity-toity upper class British woman, older British woman." I said, "Yes, that's the voice."
Yeah. Well, what makes it funny, Storm, since you've never watched it, is like his family is Stewie's parents and brother and sister are all like American, Wisconsin type of accent, and then he has a British accent. It's like, where did you get this accent?
Yeah.
From? The baby of the family.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the little baby like that
the football head
talks but has a diaper or something? Or
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen previews of like, so I've probably seen.
I don't watch Family Guy either, but Garrett does, so I've seen and I've heard.
I've probably heard because I don't know, that sounded familiar when you were talking about it, so I've probably heard the character talk.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Is that like the football head type?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And so Jessica guessed Sarah is Delilah Green.
Mm-hmm. So good.
And Hannah's was Children on the Hill and Firefly Lane were my favorites. I still need to read Children on the Hill. I had to let it go back because I knew I wasn't going to get to it, so I just put myself back in line.
That's the one by Jennifer McMahon, right?
Yeah.
I have it from NetGalley. You know, speaking of buddy reads in October, that would be a good one.
You're filling up fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very popular. There was like 4 people waiting on it, and I knew I wasn't going to get it, so I was like, just put me back on it. And I think it said something about 6 week wait. So I'm like, well,
oh wow,
I didn't need to read it right now anyway. It's okay. And Adrian Ward said, I think it might be Black Cake by Tremaine Wilkerson. I have not heard of that. Black Cake. Gotta look.
Children on the Hill is a 14-week wait for the Toronto Public Library.
Oh, wow. Put you on there now, and by the time it's like October, you might get.
Well, they don't have the audiobook.
Oh,
it's the ebook, and I have the ebook from NetGalley. So, I should stand outside the library and go, hey, anybody want to read a copy of this?
Make underground bets over here together. Underground deals.
Right?
So it's a historical fiction, contemporary. It's got a little mystery, I guess, in it because somebody has it under mystery. I've not heard of it. And Jessica Lynn says, I literally sent the message when Sarah said that.
She knows me so well.
Sync. You guys are in sync. The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden.
I don't know that one.
I'm like, I only know one, The Wife Upstairs, and it's not by that author.
It's
so
the one by Rachel Hawkins.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one, though, is a Kindle Unlimited, a twisted psychological thriller that will keep you guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a thriller.
I'm getting a lot of recommendations.
Pretty good rating on Goodreads, too, and she likes it. So, yep, that's going in my books I don't know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Says, warning, when you start reading this book, it's almost impossible to put down.
Wow, cool.
Nice.
Oh, and Lindsay Reeves. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi,
says
Lindsay.
Lonesome Love by Larry McMurtry.
McMurtry.
That is one of those that one of these days I'm going to read, but probably not this year.
Yeah. You've already got enough big books that you're reading this year.
Yeah, I do. Especially
Outlander.
I was going to say, especially once I do the whole Outlander thing, which I forgot to put on my July TBR. I'm
not going to announce it until my announcements next Tuesday. So a week tomorrow. So
that's okay, because I say in my TBR, I'm sure there will be other books added on here that I haven't listed. So see, there you go.
A little book here and there, 900 pages.
Tiny book.
Just a thing.
And Nancy says, The Winter of the Witch, the third in the Winter Night trilogy. Also The Fulfillment by Lavelle Spencer. That is cool. I am going to try Fulfillment one of these times. I think for my readathon, because I wanted an audiobook. So I do know I'm going to try another Lavelle Spencer, but I think I'm going to do The Endearment, maybe. If I can fit in two, I might do two of hers. I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to try one. And let's see. Anita says, Word to the Wise by Jen McKinley was a favorite. Yay.
Nice.
Yay.
Cajun's favorite is Murder in an Irish Village. And I am really curious about you reading the second book. I mentioned that whenever you said that you gave that, I think you gave that 5 stars. I was like, wow, I want you to read the second one and see if you like it as much as you did the first one, because that's the one I didn't like. So. But then the third one was okay because things had changed, and I think I'll like it. So I was curious if it's just me, because Nancy, that number 2 was Nancy's favorite. So I'm just curious.
Okay.
And Nadine said, my favorite book I read in June is Deadly Summer Nights by Vicky Delaney. I thought it was a perfect cozy mystery. 5 big good read stars. That's great, because that's one of the buddy reads that I'm doing next month.
Yeah, same.
And I know that another one in our group here, I think it was Tammy, maybe. I'm not sure. You'll have to holler if it was, I don't know. But didn't like it because it wasn't quite her kind of cozy. So we were a little worried there because we're like, uh-oh, she didn't like it, but now she loved it. So
nice. Makes
me feel a little bit better anyway. And just because mine would be Word to the Wise or Gallant.
Mm-hmm.
And V Reed says, fave book this month, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It's a sci-fi book that I keep recommending to others, and the audiobook is top notch.
I hear his audiobooks are amazing.
Yeah, I hear a lot about good things about that one.
Mm-hmm. And Scorpio Queen says, my favorite book this month, were Mango Cakes and Murder by Christy Murphy and Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Cool. I know the one, but I don't know the other one. But Mango Cakes and Murder just sounds cool.
Mom and Christie's Cozy Mystery Book #1.
Okay.
Nice. Looks cute.
Yay! Book fan says my favorite was Books Can Be Deceiving by Jen McKinley. Yay! And Hannah says I have a few 5 stars. You know, this year I've let myself give out more 5 stars than normal because normally I'd hold back because I'm like, I don't know, did I really, was it, you know, I liked it, but you know, is it like top notch or whatever? And I'm just like, you know what? It made me laugh. I had a lot of fun with it. You know, I'm just gonna give it a 5 stars. You know? And so this year I've had a lot more than I probably have in any of the years past because I'm just going with it. If I feel it,
you get a 5 star and you get a 5 star.
Yeah.
I have had 6.
Wow.
Only 6 5-star reads this year.
Only 6 this year?
Yeah, but a lot of 4.5 so far.
Yeah, and see, and I don't think I give out quite as many 4.5s. I have a ton of 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see.
Oh, I wasn't keeping track in the beginning in this journal, so I can't even look right now. I have to pull out another journal.
I have 11 5 stars so far.
That's, you know what? That's good.
I have 3 4.5 stars.
Do you know how many books you've read so far this year? Just out of curiosity.
136.
Okay. I've read 107, and 6 of them were 5 stars.
And I have 71 4 stars.
I'm a failure compared to you guys. I'm only on 84 books this year.
It's all relative.
But I set my thing for 52, so I'm always ahead, so it's fine.
Girl, you've blown it out of the water.
I set mine for 125. So
I'm at 150.
Yeah.
I don't like it when Goodreads laughs at me and mocks me.
You're 4 books behind. Bugger off, Goodreads. I have stuff to do. Okay.
Compared to the non-reading world that reads maybe 1 book every 5 years, it's like, don't come at me, Goodreads. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sherry says mine was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Animal Instincts by Dave Rosenfeld, and Recovery Agent by Janet Jovanovich.
Nice.
I have read Harry Potter. I don't remember anything about it, but I have read it. Oops. I just totally skipped some. And Jessica says, I had 1 5 star, but also a 4.5. So I picked them up. Yeah, there you go. Well, and sometimes some of my favorites don't necessarily get 5 stars, but I still really like them.
Yeah.
I just didn't like them quite enough, maybe. But whenever I'm looking through them, I was like, oh, but I really like that one. So it's like, should I bump it up or should I leave it the way it is? I don't know.
I mean, maybe I'm just picky, but there's some books I'm just like, it's so close, but it's not quite, and then I'm like, should I just give it 5? But if it's a Goodreads, not a Goodreads, if it's a NetGalley book, I will give it 5 stars on NetGalley.
Okay.
Just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, because you have to decide that division of on Goodreads, which do I want it to go? So.
And that's why I wish you could take Storygraph and Goodreads and just merge them together so I could get that half-star rating.
Right.
As much as we complain about that, you think Goodreads would get their act together.
Right? Good
wish.
Lord.
Mr. Francis said, Jelenka Dolkic, I can't pronounce that, was a successful woman tennis player back in the day. She has since retired and released a book detailing all the abuse she went through behind the scenes with her father. Okay. Yep. And Nancy says, I have quite a few 5 stars this month, more than normal, 6 so far this month.
Wow, that's awesome.
Nice. Did you read the whole trilogy this month? Because I think you gave 5 stars to all that. It was like the trilogy. The one that you like, the winter one. Or whatever. Hence, good but tough read, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
My July TBR is very light. I want to take it easy.
Mine is not.
Why do I want to make it easy on myself? You know why? Because I obviously I don't, because I keep telling myself I'm not going to read that much this, and then whoop.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that most of the like retro romances I want to read, like there's no audiobooks for them, because like a lot of them are category, and the older ones they just didn't make an audiobook for. And I'm like, oh, but I want to read them because they sound really good, and I'm horrible at reading print. And so I said I'm probably going to start my category reading at the first of the month and just go through, even though the readathon's only for the 2 weeks. Because if I don't,
I'm going to read them all month. I'm just like, it's for the whole month, and that's it. Yeah. Period.
Because
that's how I had to do. I'm like, I can't. The 10th to the 24th. I'm like, no. If I'm starting ahead of time, I'm starting ahead of time. If I'm checking off a box, I'm checking off a box.
I'm like, yeah, oh, that's on my anniversary.
There's like a whole bunch of people that like month-long readathons, and then there's a whole bunch of people that like short readathons. Right. So I thought, well, I did a long one in February. I'll do a short one in July, and then I can get, kind of balance it out for people. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, yeah, if I want to even read like 5 print books, I got to start at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, exactly. You do what works.
Absolutely.
Elena said, hi, ladies. Just I hope you're all having a good week. Yes, we are having a good week, or at least I am having a pretty decent week so far. But it's only the beginning, so.
Well, like you guys, it's a long weekend this weekend. Yes. I'm off on Friday, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, you're off on Friday. Friday's the end of the day. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I realize now it's just Monday.
We're making it through the day so far, so
step one.
Yeah, we made it through Monday, so the rest of the week can't be that bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Karen says, Mr. Francie, that does sound really good. And Melmac, so far my June favorites are Body on the Bayou by Ellen Byron, yay, and Pulp Fiction by Julian.
That one was really good.
And I gave both 4.5 stars. I haven't rated a June 5-star yet.
See?
And the one I'm reading now could end up being 5 stars because I really like the embroideries. It's cool.
Oh, nice.
Hello, Hermione. How are you?
Hello.
We are talking about our favorite book of June. Since it's close to the end of the month. And
I could say in the next, or whatever, I would love to know people's least favorite book of the month, but that's me.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
I have mine prepared.
So, hi everyone, just got back from St. Louis a few minutes ago. It's a 5-hour drive, so I'm tired. Hopefully I'll make it through these sprints. I'm reading Matchmaking Can Be Killer by Amanda Flower. Oh,
nice.
And then P.S. my favorite book for June was 9 through 12 in the Library Lovers series by Jen McKinley. Yay! I gave them all 5 stars. Death in the Stacks might have been my favorite.
Nice.
Hey. Oh, and then sorry, it's Courting Can Be Killer. Okay. Hi, Ace Mamoni.
Hello.
Finished a Magic Lies and Deadly Lies. Is there supposed to be something different in there? Because that doesn't make sense. Magic Lies and Deadly Lies. I was going to say. Working on Payback's a Witch now. Cool.
Magic Lies and Deadly Pies.
Oh. There we go. That sounds, I was going to say, there's probably something supposed to be different there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Cajun finished her book.
Awesome.
And he read 2 chapters. And LOL, I read a lot. I made it to 73%. Yes, you do.
Not you, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't read, but updated my reading journal and will be reading the next sprint. Cool. It says what, able to read 4 chapters.
Nice.
86%. Wow. Lauren says, but now I have stepped away and get a little one to bed. Hope to catch more once I'm back. All right. And I also read 2 chapters. It's pretty good so far.
Mm-hmm.
And Polly read 2 chapters in one book and 3 chapters in another. There you go. Spread the love. And Storm sprinting like Melmac 2 pages. Yeah.
Really dense.
Okay, so it is 20 after, so we should put a sprint in, and Yeah, we'll do that. You can list your least favorite of the month next, and we'll go through that because I do like to see who everybody's least favorites are. Now
Yeah.
Love it.
Happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.
So how did you all do? Okay, I'll wait.
I got about 2.5 chapters read.
Cool. I got like a chapter and a few pages into another chapter. I was a little distracted that go around.
I ate dinner and I got to 95%, and like the killer thing just got caught. So I was like, all right, well then I got to finish this one out.
Oh, go away. I have something on my computer popped up in front of everybody and I can't see it. There we go. Okay, so Calf says it's so hard to pick a favorite book, but I'm going to say In the Company of Witches by Aurelie Wallace. Perfect, cozy mystery mix and very emotional. I got teary at the end. Okay, I don't like that part, but In the Company of Witches is actually, I have it out on Overdrive on audio. I just haven't got to it yet.
Oh, it looks super cute.
I need to get to it though, because there's like 6 people waiting. And so I'm like, if I don't get it now, I probably ain't gonna get it for a while. Hey Storm, 2 pages is still 2 pages yet.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to 35 pages read. This is from last time's due. I read 44 pages of Thread Reckoning. So she's at 103, 322, 29%. So, oh no, I'll end up saying it's IKEA instead of IKEA. Or Mike and Ike. And Hannah says it came out this month, so it's pretty new. Yeah, the Children on the Hill. And Melmac says there are websites where you can type a word, including names, and get an audio pronunciation so you can hear it spoken. I use it sometimes on Siobhan's sibling names in the Irish Village. Yeah, I use that a lot too, but like I said, I will use it and I'll be like, oh, okay. And then the next time I'm like, how do I say that again? I would have to look it up like every time. Because I cannot remember it. And like the author's name, I'm sure I could look the author's name up and get it. And as soon as I push record and go, this is, what was it?
100%.
Exactly.
And Hermione read 2 chapters of a novella.
Nice.
And she says fulfillment is on audio on Hoopla, yeah, and so is the endearment. And I just picked the endearment out, but yeah, I'm curious about the fulfillment too, since you said you really liked it. She says I think it was Spencer's first novel.
Mm.
And Sherry says Project Hail Mary was one of my top 2 books of last year. Yeah, I knew Sherry liked that one. I knew that. And Cajun says Irish Village has the quickest resolved love triangle in the history of cozies. It actually made me laugh. It was like she checked off the tropes and was done. That's
Done
and
done.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have a pretty quick like romance thing in that. And Nancy says, I love the Irish Village series. And I just rate by my enjoyment.
Mm.
And Nancy, I'm looking forward to number 2 now. And I'm looking forward to her deciding to see if she liked it or not. And hi, Bev says, taking a break from biology homework. Yeah, I could see you needing a break. Biology.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel horrible. I've only read 49.
Don't feel bad.
49. No,
Never, ever.
Bad. That's like really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I read as much is because of audiobooks. If I didn't have audiobooks, like I would probably read like 3 books a month.
It's so true.
Yeah.
As I just went on my library's website and I'm looking at all the new audiobooks going, ooh, place hold.
Yeah.
I need more spare time.
Yeah.
Yes. Need more.
I'm sorry, what? 145 books for the month?
She meant for the year.
I'm pretty sure that's probably for the year.
I was going to say, is that
like, she's a professional reader. That's all she does.
right?
In Cajun, I think number 2 was the best mystery. I give it 5 stars for sure. Yeah, that's why I said I know Nancy loved it, and I gave it 2 stars. So. Anna says, my goal is 250. I'm 25 books ahead of schedule.
Good for you.
And then she's like, a month. Seriously, Hannah, wow. And Jessica says, I read 6 5-star books out of 49. Hey, that's not too bad.
That is awesome.
And Nancy says, I don't give half stars, just whole stars. I have a simple rating system. There you go.
That's fair.
And I tend to read about 8 to 12 books a month.
That's still really good.
That is amazing.
And Ace Spumoni, well, I can't speak. Ace Spumoni says, I love having half-star options. Yeah. And says, no, for the year, I can't read that fast. He said, in Montana, we were all in shock. Yeah, like that. Oh, LO, I see my mistake. I meant 135 for the year. My bad. And Jane probably could read that many every month. Yeah, she's a pretty quick reader, too. Mm-hmm. And Cajun says, oh, okay, I was going to say, I know you read really fast, but your eyes must be spinning. 146 for the year. I was close. Oh. She finished one. She had to sneak it in there.
Right.
And she said she's at 19 for the month. And Nancy says, I gave 5 stars to the whole winter set because it was the only one this month. I had a lot of fantasy 5 stars though. Sanderson, Hobbs, Bardugo, Matt Haig, The Midnight Library. Yeah, see, I thought you gave 5 stars to the whole winter set. And then I was like, you read that really fast. So I didn't know if it was all this month or really close. Mm-hmm. Happy Canada Day.
Just like the 4th of July, but with better beer.
There you go.
It's like, okay, yeah, it's a day off. Yay.
Yeah.
It's a weekend of annoying fireworks going off the whole time.
Yeah.
They've already started. The pre-Canada Day celebrations have started.
I'm not looking forward to that because Dresden scares so easily. And we live out in the country and they don't have to shut them off at a certain time.
Right.
So they can go till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning so I don't get any sleep.
Oh, they're supposed to. You're not supposed to do them past 11 p.m. But for Victoria Day or Memorial Day or whatever you guys call it in the States, they were shooting them off at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous.
7 for the month is still good.
That is fantastic, Jessica.
Yeah.
I was trying to see. I don't know how many I've read this month.
I'm at 16, I think. 16 or 17.
20.
Nowhere near that.
I was at 20.
9.
Woo, see, look at there. Jessica and I don't feel so bad. 2, 7, 9. You guys are pretty much.
But yeah, you read a couple long ones though. Like the Hotel Nantucket was like what, 15 hours on audio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one long audio, and that was Jane Eyre. It was 23 hours.
Yeah.
And Kagan says, being out of commission, so long recovering from my surgery, put me way ahead of my year-to-date number. Yeah.
And I had the opposite. For those 2 weeks, I couldn't pick up a book at all.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, things like that just affect people differently. And it depends on what kind of recoveries I think you're having to and things like that. And just...
I think for me, because I didn't know what was happening day to day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, am I having surgery today? Am I going home tomorrow? What am I doing? What's happening?
Right.
Oh, when can I eat?
We have hit a least favorite. Hannah's, my least favorite was Run, Rose, Run. I DNF'd it.
Really? I heard so many people love that book.
And Melanie says her 5-star was A Cider Shop Rules. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Says, hi, everyone. I made it to at least pop in.
Hi,
Jared. Saying hi to Jared. And it has jokes tonight. It says going to star curried lobster murder, the Darlin Deli number 14. Look at that little face there. Cajun. My lowest rated book was Batter Off Dead and Cake and Punishment.
Really?
Wow.
Surprised.
I'm trying to remember what mine was called. I know who it was by, but I'm trying to remember the title.
Was that the
Mamie Bell?
Yeah.
Yep.
So she didn't like those so well. I didn't have any like horribly bad books this month. Like I had some 3 stars and some 3.5 stars. I would say maybe it's not least favorite. I thought it was okay, but I just know I'm not going to continue with the series, and that's the Pinderwicks on Gardam Street by Jenny Birdsall. It's just not my thing. It's a contemporary series. I know I'm not a huge contemporary. If you like, the day-to-day things that happen with this family, then you will like it. I need more action and I need more stuff. I couldn't do it. I'm like, oh, this is okay. They're trying to the aunt's trying to find a lady for the father to date. He doesn't want to date. The kids don't know if they want him to date, so they're trying to hook him up with some horrible women, and and it's just the day-to-day kind of stuff. And it was okay. I gave it 3 stars, but I've decided that I just don't think I'll finish the series because I just ain't liking it that well.
Mine was 2.5 stars. That was Blizzard in the Bay by Kathy Daly. It was number 8 in the In It Holiday Bay series.
Okay.
Which sucked because I love this series so far. I love all her Bay series, but this one just, even though with like the potential blizzard, it was supposed to be a cozy thing, it wasn't. And the mystery I thought was stupid. So
sometimes in some big series like that, you have that one. So
that was it.
So my lowest rated was a Babysitters Club book, but that it's always like I don't bother looking at those. But my lowest rated adult book, if you will, was a 3.5 stars. So that's not bad. It was Her Dark Lies by J.T. Ellison. I just didn't find it very thriller. Like I wasn't thrilled. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it was a good book and I liked the author, but I wasn't. Meh.
Did you ever read Good Girls Lie by J.T.?
I read that one a couple years ago by her.
I thought that one was
fabulous.
Okay. Two opposites here. That's on my list, and I have to read that one this year. So I'm like, all right, I got to get to that one.
I liked it. It takes place in a boarding school.
Yeah, that's why I was choosing that one. I was like, all right, let's see how this goes.
And see, and then another one of mine, like I gave it 3.5 stars, was the third Irish Village mystery. So it was the murder in the Irish churchyard. I thought it was okay. It was a lot better than the 2-star number 2. So I mean, it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. But the main character still kind of irritated me a little bit. But I did like it more. That's why I said I will continue the series, but I don't think it's going to be like one that climbs very high on my list. Oops. Her least favorite in June was September Morn by Mary Dahan. I remember her saying it. She didn't like that one.
Didn't like it.
And Anita says my least favorite was His Prisoner, a Mafia Romance by Misty Winters.
Okay.
It's really hard to picture Anita reading a Mafia romance.
I know, right? Does not compute.
I mean, because I know she loves romance, but just, I don't know, Mafia romance isn't.
But that's why it was her least favorite.
Yeah, maybe. Let us know, Anita. Do you like other Mafia romances, or was that your first one? I'm curious. And yours is my lowest rated this month is No Cooperation from the Cat by Marian Babson. It wasn't a bad story. I just couldn't like any of the characters except the cat. There you go. And Jessica Lynn says, least favorite would be Misruled by Heather Walter. I had such high hopes for it following the first book, and it let me down so much. I gave it 3 to 3.5. I didn't have anything below a 3 stars for this one. See, that's like me. I didn't have any like horribly low ones.
Yeah.
And Anita says, well, considering I had no sleep last night, I'm going to say goodnight. Oh, because she's already gone. And read in bed. keep safe.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to ask her about the mafia one. 'Cause I'm
Mhm.
curious. Cajun says, which batter off dead, the country store or the southern cake batter?
Specify, people.
Baker.
Specify.
Yeah. She gave 2 stars to Tessa Dare.
It was just a novella, though. It's fine.
Okay, it was a novella. All right.
Okay. In the Spindle Cove series. See, I've only read the first Spindle Cove. That is actually on my SAS list because I would like to read more. I don't normally read the novellas, so I'll be okay. I'll skip that. Saying night and says my lowest read for the month is probably last summer at the Golden Hotel. There was more unhappy middle-aged person who doesn't know how to be happy than I wanted him to be.
I have that on my list to read.
Lee, you read The House on the Lake, right? Riley Sager. Is that what it's called? House?
I'm in the middle of reading it.
You're in the middle of reading it.
Yes.
Are you still liking it, or is it? Or?
No, so far I am liking it, but I probably haven't gotten any further in any of the books I've been reading for a few days now. So
I was just curious. I watched Zach's review of that.
I realize Zach and I have the opposite taste in books. So
yeah, so I was wondering. I was like,
the opposite taste.
Sometimes we have the same taste, so I'm like, I told him, I'm like, well, I DNF'd one of his books, and I'm wanting to read another one, so we'll just skip that one and we'll try a different one.
I feel like 2 others that he hated and DNF'd. I'm like, I really liked those. I'm like, we just don't have to see. We're the opposites, so that's fine.
Well, it's like
Chloe and I.
Yeah.
If I hated it, she loved it.
That's it.
It's like Gabby from Gabby Reads. I don't know if you guys ever watch her, but if she likes a thriller, it's guaranteed I probably didn't like it.
You're like, oh, we're all listening to that one.
And that's why it's fun to like do this. What's your favorite and least favorite? Because other people are going to go, "Oh, that book looks really good," or whatever.
Hurt my heart, Annie. Hurt my heart. My least favorite was Elementary She Reads. I like the side stories, and this seems like it is going to be all mystery, and it moves slow for me, so I DNF'd. Oh, see, that's like one of my favorite series. That's okay. It's okay. And Kate just says my least favorite was Fry Me a Lip.
Why does that sound like it should be Hannibal Lecter's autobiography?
I know.
Oh, that is so true.
It just got dark and heavy. You knew it was going to be the last one.
Oh,
yeah, that was so
they were stretching for a title on that one, weren't they? Oh, good Lord.
Okay. Okay, so my least favorite book in June was the book I just finished reading this morning, Murder with Ganache by Lucy Burnett, number 4 in the Key West Critics. I rated it 2.5 and ranted about it. Yes, I saw your little rant.
Have you guys read that Key West Food Critic? I always see the books and they look so cute, but like, are they any good?
I think she's read them all because I think she reads in order. So I think that, I think I've seen her say like a couple of them she liked, but I don't know.
Fair
Obviously didn't like number 4.
Clearly.
And I'm sure that will be my lowest rated book in June. The one I'm currently reading and the last one I have left are both from series I really like.
Nice.
But you never know. On my spoiler for my mid-year freak out, like the least favorite book of the year, or no, most disappointed book of the year, is usually a series that is always on my best.
Yeah.
But because it didn't make it there, it's very disappointed. Even though I still gave it 4 stars, it was on my disappointed because I'm like, it's usually on the best, and I couldn't put it up there, and so I was disappointed.
Yeah, and I think that's what that means. It doesn't necessarily mean what was your least favorite book, right? It's like what disappointed you,
right?
Yeah. And that's why I was like, so you can have a favorite series, and it still disappoints you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my least, my most disappointed was A Blues Singer to Redeem Him by L. Jackson, which I gave 2.5 stars to. It's a Harlequin historical. It was set in like the Jazz Age and Prohibition and people of color, and it just was so boring. And I'm like, so much could have been done with this book, and it just disappointed me. And it was so funny because Aaron, who's now taken over for me on the podcast, he loved it, and I'm like, I was just disappointed.
See?
I have a question. You can answer it if you want, but why aren't you doing the podcast anymore?
The reason I've decided to step away from the podcast is because it got to be a little too much for me. I appreciate, like, you know, the author interviews and stuff, and it was becoming like, it was almost like every other night we had an interview, and that's a lot, and I'm tired, and I work full time, and my focus really wanted to be my YouTube.
Well, see, I was wondering if maybe you were just decided that maybe you wanted to do a few interviews on your channel instead, since you had that one.
Yeah.
And it would be hard to do both of them. And so
that came after, because I still do like interviewing people. And, like, you know, I talked to Brie about it beforehand because I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, because the podcast was our baby. And, like, she really ran with it. And this part of me really felt guilty because she did a lot of the work. She set up a lot of the interviews. She did a lot of the questions. I just kind of showed up. That's how I felt a lot of the time. And I just thought, like, this, I didn't have the drive for it the way that Brie did. That makes sense.
yeah.
You know, I've been on YouTube for almost 7 years. So
Yeah,
you
and
know.
she doesn't do YouTube anymore because she used
No,
to, so
and
that can
Aaron
give her
and her,
something to do.
yeah, and Aaron and her, like, they took over when I was sick, and they did a phenomenal job. And they also, and this is they have a different vision of it than I do, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes Brie and I would
Clash a little
go toe to toe, if you will, on a few things.
There you go.
But, like, yeah, I talked to Sasha Summers this Saturday, and in August, shameless plug, I will be talking to romance author Rachel Stewart.
I went and got her book off of NetGalley. Thank you very much.
Which one, Sasha's?
Yes.
And you're not a contemporary reader, but it was so good.
Well, that's what she's talking about, and the bees and all that stuff. And I'm like,
Honestly, I was like,
I'm like auto approved, so it was like. That's why on your video where you're talking, the TBR thing was read your latest like
yes
bought or got from NetGalley. That's why I said, guess I could try reading one that the newest.
And the funny thing was, so I was finishing that book off, and, like, it's Thor. Like, if you follow Sasha Summers on Instagram, she has Thor's Day. So every Thursday she posts Chris Hemsworth photos, right? Like, love this woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the other book I happened to be reading, the guy was being labeled as Aquaman. So Jason Momoa. And I'm like, okay, which hot guy am I reading about right now?
Yeah, like, I was like, between, like, listening to your interview with her, I'm like, oh, this, like, she sounds super cool. And then, like, hearing you talk about the book, especially in your vlog, I'm like, all right, I'm really going to get this book, because I'm like, she sounds so fun, and, like, you were making it sound so, like, interesting. I'm like, all right, sold me. I'm getting it.
Right? See, that's
and since I am a series in order, I put the first book in the cowboy one on my books I need to read.
My aunt called me the next day because she watched the interview, right? And she says, your friend who reads books in order, she says, life is too short. You just pick up whatever book you want, she says. She started the Eve, was it? The JT Robb? Eve Daniels, Eve Dallas.
Yeah.
The In-Depth series.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the bookstore and picked up one at random and read it. And then she realized she was halfway through a series, and she went, oh, well. She just random.
That's funny.
Sometimes I envy people who can just randomly pick a book and read it and not bother.
But I am now, in all honesty, starting to see, and I'm really trying to push myself to try and read stuff in order. But the problem is that because I don't read back to back to back to back, it doesn't matter anyway. Because then I get back to the next book, and it's been 2 years, and I'm like, so.
The only way, like, it doesn't matter to me in two type of ways. Like, one of my coworkers had me read a book. It was book 3 in a series, and none of the books have anything to do with each other. It's just the same, like, precinct that these books take place. So you'll be following a different detective each time.
Okay.
Maybe they see the other detective from another book at the office or something like that, but they don't. You don't really need to know anything because it's more about the case than it is about the detective.
Yeah.
And then, like in the series, the Knockbridge Lane, it's like, yeah, they're all in the same town, but each book is about somebody totally different.
Yes, exactly. So
In
you
that
can read them out of order.
Yeah. And that way it doesn't matter to me because I'm like, well, it's not progressing off the previous book. So.
No, exactly.
But otherwise, yes, I am a read in order type of person.
I still got read in order.
I think the appeal to me to want to try and do it now is to keep track of what am I reading.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm now on book 4, at least I know I've read books 1 through 3.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, and I know that like the romances don't go in order, and things like that. It just bugs me that I'm on number 4 and I haven't read 1, 2, or 3. So I can't do it.
When I started doing a lot of the Harlequin videos on my channel, and I was doing, I think it was like the beginner's guide to category romance, and I was showing people like the spines of the book, how it's like numbered, like it's whatever number in this like 3,000 or whatever. And somebody very politely sent me a private message. Do you have to read those in order? I'm no, bless your heart, no.
You're like, yes, I've read all 3,154 books.
Next time on General Hospital.
So Melmac said, Storm and Sarah, I bought the Barnes & Noble Collector's Edition of Emma today. They had 10% off coupon, so now I have all 4 Jane Austen novels available in those editions.
Those Barnes & Noble editions are beautiful.
They are very pretty. And also bought 1 and 2 in the Haley Powell series. I've been eager to start.
Did you guys see, if you guys are Bridgerton fans, Illumicrate, is that the name of it?
Mm-hmm.
Has released an exclusive Bridgerton set. Each book is a different color. They're sprayed edges. Ooh. And it can be mine for the low price of $300 US. Like, I can't do that.
No, thank you.
Yep.
No, but I did post in one of the Discords today that they are coming out with on Lifetime the Flowers in the Attic, the Origins. It's going to be a limited series on Lifetime starting on July 9th.
Really?
Yeah. So the Origins, does this mean we're going to hear about
the parents?
Them? Yeah. I mean, that's technically the Origins. I don't know. I'm trying not to spoil anything for anybody who has no idea what the Flowers in the Attic is, but
I really want to reread that. I haven't read that since high school.
So now I'm just kind of like, I want to know what the Origins are.
I've never read that. I mean, I've heard like all kinds of stuff about it. I've watched people who have read, like their reviews and things of it. I just don't know if I want to read it.
The thing is, to 17-year-old me, it was just so scandalous.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that was the appeal of it.
Yeah.
Something that you shouldn't be reading.
It was that it was dark and taboo and you shouldn't be doing this. So that's why you wanted to read it. Yeah.
But I think reading it as an adult, you wouldn't get, like, if you were reading it as an adult for the first time, it wouldn't be the same thing.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
No one's... Plus, in the age of Kindles and e-readers or audiobooks, nobody's seeing. You didn't have to hide the book. Nobody saw it. You know what I mean?
I can remember sitting, by my locker at high school, like...
Mm-hmm. Right, that's what I mean.
You read that kind of stuff in high school. I read about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Fair is fair.
And I had my book there, and people were like, "You're so weird."
We were all weird. It was all good.
I thought it was weird that people wanted to be cheerleaders. So I mean,
yeah.
Thank you.
Mel Mac read 0 pages. I just had to point that out. I thought
very good.
Hi, Sarah says, hi, friends. I'm reading about a local serial killer from the 70s. Very creepy.
Oh, that sounds fun. And I like that they're local.
Yeah, where's your local serial killer from? Like, give us the state or the name of the book.
I feel that needs to be a website. Findyourlocalserialkiller.com.
That would be funny if you looked it up and there was one.
It's Bob. He's 4 streets over.
Right.
That would make a really good book or movie, though.
Right?
You know, you'll look them up and you find out there's a serial killer that lives
And it's
down
like,
the road.
it's a comedic. Oh my God. So I got sent, who was it? Was it Berkeley? I got an email from the publisher and they're like, oh, hey, if you want to review this book that's coming out. And it's called Take My Husband. And it's about, it says for people who spent the last 2 years in quarantine with their spouse and have realized that they really don't like them anymore. So the whole plot of the story is that this woman gets a phone call that her husband died in a car accident, which is, she's horrified and she's thinking on the way to the hospital, okay, so you know what, it's too bad, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, insurance money. Gets to the hospital and no, he's alive. And now she's mad about it.
That's great. That is great.
I can't wait to read it.
Right, people are going to hear that and they'll be like, let's buy that book. It's sold out. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
I can relate. That's funny.
Oh. Hi, Melissa. Says, hi, guys. Glad I caught you. I'm single momming this week. My hubby is gone on a work trip, so I'm barely getting any reading done.
Yeah. Priorities.
Well, the minute I joined y'all talking over.
Sarah did. We knew you were here.
Yep.
Yes. Yes,
Listen,
I'm going to.
I give her credit for even coming on here. I'd be taking this opportunity to just sleep or something, you know? So good for you, Melissa.
Okay, so it's 8:30, so do you want to read to the top of the hour and then we can like wrap things up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Get in at least another little reading sprint. Happy reading, everyone. I forgot to say that. So, how did everybody do?
I finished my book, and I got 2 chapters into The House Across the Lake. I think for the whole purpose of the main character of this story, Storm, you would hate the book. I just think you'd hate it for the main character.
Yeah, I was listening to like Zach, and I don't think he liked the main character or whatever either. So I'm like, yeah, it's probably.
Well, it's like make every wrong possible decision you can possibly make, and there you go. That's her. So,
Yeah, I still think the one I'm going to try is the haunted housey one. Maybe
that's a very popular one. A lot of people like that one.
I didn't get any reading done. Instead, I spent time on my library website and looked at books that I don't need to borrow. It's like shopping.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I read about a chapter or so. I think I have about 40 pages or somewhere around there left to go. So at least I know I'll be able to finish this book before the end of the week. I need to get this book finished. It's an arc that I had, and it came out this month, and I'm like, I need to get it done. And it's just now getting interesting. So like it's been like this whole build up to like that last little bit of like, the very first book where some things start to kind of go together and you kind of figuring things out. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, yay, now it's getting good. So just keep reading. And then I watched a little bit of Sarah's vlog because I got to get that done. Didn't want to start another chapter, so I was like, well, stop there. Watch YouTube. And I forgot to take that off and put the banner up, so I'm sorry. And Nancy says, I have Project Hail Mary on Audible. Hope to get to it this year. Sherry says, audiobooks are a godsend. Yes, they are. And Jessica said, yes, that's probably it. I rarely use audiobooks because I forget things too much and have to listen back. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Some people just aren't made for audiobooks, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. And some people don't like to read ebooks, and then
we have lots of choice.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we have a lot more choice now than we used to when it was just print books and that's just all you read.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And Jared says, I finally got my brother to try audiobooks. He's hooked now. He's not one to sit and read a book, but he's interested in books I read. So now he listens to the audios at work. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Sherry says, because audiobooks, I've read 204 books so far this year.
Congratulations.
And it's summertime for her, and she is off because she does like the school year thing. So she's got the summer off. So I can just see like that going like.
It's going to double.
Yeah. And I love audiobooks. And Jessica, I wish Fireworks just had the show and not the sound. Yeah, that would be really
show,
nice.
No tell.
Fireworks started earlier this month.
For us, I think it was nonstop because we went from graduation, college graduations, high school graduations, into like summer's here, now 4th of July. It's like
our town had fireworks the beginning of this month, and we were like, what? Because usually we're an old mining town, so we have old mining town days, and it was usually during the 4th of July weekend they had it. Since I was little, that has how it's been. Instead, they did it at the beginning of this month, and I was like, what? Because usually they end it with fireworks because it's on 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand why you move it up a month.
Yeah, we've dragged everything out now. I mean, next month, Halloween stuff, September is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So my town started setting them off this weekend. It's all week and then all weekend. And Jared says, I'm lucky that fireworks don't bother the cat. From front balcony, I can see the firework display over the river bobtail, and I just go out and watch the show from the comfort of home.
My favorite was when I lived on the 19th floor of an apartment building, and I just sat out on the balcony, and you could just see them just popping up. Like, it was really cool.
That'd be nice.
Fireworks sound too. I like to watch on TV muted. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's very pretty, them popping up and all the different things. But yeah.
Mhm.
And Jessica said, "Why did you DNF Run Rose Run? I was looking forward to that." And reading equals happiness. Don't feel bad for yourself. I read every day or the other day for a few hours. I only managed to read half a book a month, sometimes only one book, making 12 books for the year. And
That's okay.
now, thanks to my iPad.
Yeah. No, reading is reading, no matter what you get done.
Absolutely. And if you only read middle grade or if you only read whatever, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for all there's so many people that don't read anything. So I feel like if you just read a couple of books, then you're ahead of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, people haven't picked up a book since high school.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and my brother doesn't read. My dad doesn't read. My mom was the reader in the family along with me, and so Dad doesn't understand my obsession with the books all over my floor.
I came from a family of readers, and I remember after Dad died and they had the bag of his stuff that was at the hospital with him, and there was a book in there that was only half read, and this part of me was just so sad at the fact that he never got to finish that. You know what? I know it sounds silly, but
No, I get it. I get that.
Yeah.
Now here's the question: did you read that book?
no, it was like one of those Hunt for Red October or something. Like that's it was as they referred to them as a dad book.
Right. Exactly.
Kaden says, Sarah, it took me 10 days to read on a book when I was in the hospital, but 8 weeks recovery, I read like a demon.
Yeah, and I was like back to work like 4 days later. I should have taken a week off.
Yeah, you should have, milk it a little bit.
I should have, but sadly, I had run out of vacation days and I had run out of sick days, and I was like, if you want to get paid, and I'm like, oh, gee, we need money.
Yeah, that's when it sucks. Yeah, when you run out of that stuff, you don't have more. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
And see, she said there was a graphic SA scene in the beginning.
Sexual assault?
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault. Yeah, probably.
Well, that's unpleasant.
And reading equals happiness is Nancy. Project Hail Mary was kind of boring. I DNF'd it halfway through. I love it. Sherry loved it. I think she gave it 5 stars last year. It was their top, and then she DNF'd it. She was bored. That's fine. Okay, I understand. Then again, I'm not really a sci-fi fan. Yeah. See, that's me. That's what keeps me from reading, because I'm not really a sci-fi fan. So. And Jared says, I normally read 4 books a month. This month, I read 10 so far, taking care of my mama post-surgery.
Wow. I hope your mom's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have several 3 stars, which are my lowest. Heidi's Guide to 4-Letter Words, Howl's Moving Castle.
That was a 5-star read.
Yeah, I know. I was like...
The pain.
The 100-year-old man who climbed down the window. All enjoyable, but not favorites. Yeah.
Fair enough.
At least sometimes even our favorite series have a dud, and if they're a long-running series, they could have a couple of duds.
Yeah. And the funny part is the book right before that was a 5-star to me. So, and I loved the coziness of that one. I loved the mystery in that one. And then the next one was just the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And I also sometimes think, and I think this was the case for me, your mood, what's going on in life, what other things you have going on. Mm-hmm. All of that stuff can play a factor. Like everybody loves the Cider Shop series one. And I'm like, I had COVID. I felt like shit during that time. And I was just like, this book sucked. Maybe if I read it in the fall and under some different circumstances, I would love it too. So,
well, that was that
you should have put it down and read something else.
that Butterfly Bayou one that I hated when I first started reading it. Put it aside. A year later, I loved it.
Yeah, it was January though, and I was like, I'm gonna read these books. I'm feeling like I gotta hit my goals, and it was like I should have just been like, I have COVID. Life is just putting
Sarah, what was the name of the Babysitter Club's book that had the notebook entries in it? The companion book that I got, guidebook, but it's like a guide to just babysitting.
So, all of the Babysitters Club books have notebook entries in them. Like every few there's like 3, but I think the ones that she's talking about are the super specials.
Oh yeah.
Like the Babysitters Take Europe, the Babysitters.
The babysitters went everywhere. I
Summer
wish I had a
vacation.
babysitter.
They went to Hawaii. They went to Europe. And I'm not even making that up because it's a thing.
Disney, a cruise.
Yeah, that was the first one.
They went on like 3 school trips where they like
I
had
think that this is what you're talking
color
about.
wars and everything.
So like they would have like graphics and then like writing. So this is the 11th super special.
It was only the super specials that had the pictures, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Nancy says, I love Siobhan Storm. So funny. I don't find her irritating at all. And Hermione says, I read three this month so far, but I'm hoping to finish another 3 and start another one and finish for the end of the month another novella, but not stressing myself if I don't. Yeah.
You're hoping to finish another 3 and start another one and finish before the end of the month, and we have 3 days left. I applaud you. I applaud you. Yeah.
I think I'm just going to put this out there, Sherry. I think I'm going to DNF the Keeper of the Lost City series. I just don't think. I don't want to pick it up like all month long, and I read this much out of like the 600-page book.
Move on.
Yeah, I'm like, nothing's happening. It's so boring. It's like more of what happened in like the first 2 books or first 3 books. It's like, at least give me something decent, some action, something. It's 672 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Do something.
Yeah.
So I'm like 170 something pages into it. Nothing's happening. And Melmac says, I haven't read the Bake Shop series yet. I don't have an opinion on it, but a common opinion is that Nothing But Trouble is a bit of a dud in the otherwise overall well-liked series. Yeah.
Okay.
And Nancy's like, hello, Martha Lavelle can do no wrong. 5 stars so far. Then the next one she reads, it was going to be a dud.
Always.
It would happen to me if I was to claim that. So. And he says, I am very much a mood reader and wasn't in the mood for last summer at the Golden Hotel, so it was a wrong time for me.
That's fair.
There you go.
Yeah, Sherry, I really liked Elementary she read. Yeah, me too. And Momac says, Storm, don't jinx my last 2 reads in June. And Melissa says, Nancy, hi, Nancy. I could not agree more. I can't wait to keep going with her books. Years is my favorite so far. Mine too. Spoiler for best books of the year so far. Nadine, I really liked Elementary she read. I find it interesting to see what people liked and disliked. Good thing there are so many books for us to choose from. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it just hurts my heart when somebody don't like mine.
It happens.
I have no clue where to start with Harlequin because there are so many genres with Harlequin. I just get lost and confused on where to start.
We'll have a discussion, Jessica.
Yep, I'm like, just jump in anywhere.
What do you like?
Yeah.
You want
Yeah, that's it.
cowboys?
You know,
You want
do you like? Yeah, you do like cowboys, suspense? Do you like
suspenseful cowboys?
Sweet? Do you like steamy? Do you like what do you like? We can point you in the right.
Again, I feel like I should be standing on the street corner with a trench coat on, going, "What can I interest you in?"
Here you go.
Open it up, and there's
What
like
these would you like? I saw that trailer for it too. Yeah, I have a bind up of the book, but I haven't read it. Did I miss something somewhere?
She's talking about the flowers in the attic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just
yes,
it just popped up again here, so I'm like, okay.
I haven't seen it, so I think I need to go look that up.
Mm-hmm.
Melmac's laughing, but I don't know what she's laughing at because I done forgot. She's like, darn. And Jessica says, yes, it's about the parents and the grandparents, I believe. Okay. Hey, cut me some slack. I read 0 pages during the second sprint, but I read 44 pages during the first sprint, balancing it out.
There you go.
Thanks. And just joined. Oh, and then I lost my spot. I gotta read faster. Hello, Breezy says made it home from work and making dinner and listening to an audiobook.
Nice.
And Jessica says, no problem. That's how I understood the trailer anyways. And then I'm just... Okay, I'm going to put this one up here. I read 32 pages. Melmac read during that sprint. She read during that sprint. Woohoo!
Good job.
And Hayden says, I can only do audiobooks if I'm reading along with it. My mind wanders too much or I fall asleep.
I get that.
I listen to audiobooks while I work on my computer doing listings and stuff now and stuff or taking photos, which my goodness, it takes me forever to just put like a couple of things on eBay. It's like, oh my goodness.
I think a good way just to start with an audiobook is maybe to listen to a lighter book, like a celebrity biography that somebody's just telling you a story, not where you have to figure out clues or see anything like that. Just let them tell you a story.
Yeah, that's great. Good advice.
Or if you want to do a reread of a favorite, I think
that's the good thing too. If you already know the story,
yep.
Or just be like me and just jump right in and listen to Outlander at 39 hours for your first audiobook.
Was that really your first one?
That was my first audiobook.
Wow.
Was Outlander. Well, technically no, because way back in the day, the Babysitters Club books you used to be able to get them on cassette tape.
Yes.
How old am I? So those I remember listening to and being very excited, but as an adult, it was Outlander.
Okay.
My first ever audiobook was on a cassette tape. It was like in the early 90s. I was at college. I thought, oh, let's try an audiobook. I've never tried one. And it was a Danielle Steele's, I believe it was. And it was so boring. I was like, if this is how audiobooks are, I cannot do it. And that was, I never read another one until I got the Guidebook to Murder by Lynn Cahoon. It was my first cozy mystery. And that was my first audiobook. And I was like, oh, this isn't quite so bad as it was. But the one back then was so monotone and they kind of talk like this.
Yes.
And they
and you couldn't speed it up. So you just had to go at that level. Yeah. Now it's totally different than that. So
well, I was even laughing, like my library has those playaways, you know, that right or on CD, and I'm like, but how do you speed it up? I don't understand.
Exactly.
When I started reviewing books for Tantor Audio, they came into the CDs, and so I had to put them into my computer and listen to them or whatever.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my goodness, put it on fast, and then fast wasn't really that fast. And then they started. Now they give you the MP3 or whatever it is, so you can download. Yep. They're all download now, and so I was like, oh, I can speed it up.
Thank God.
Says our town is doing fireworks for Canada Day.
Why not?
Why not? It's a good excuse. They're like, well, Canada's doing it. Why can't we?
And we want to be more like those nice Canadians. So
it's you know, like the older brother. I want to do what he's doing.
Right?
I swear they put out school supplies before our summer break.
True.
100%.
By the end of June, I will have read 92 physical books and 2 novellas in ebook form.
Very nice, Mel.
And that is really good because that's all she reads is physical books. So
that's awesome.
Really good. Read 2 chapters. And same, my dad tells me why I get more books that I haven't read yet when I have so many that I still haven't read yet. My dad always tells everybody she's got enough books to start her own library.
You're like, it depends who's visiting my library, you know?
Yes, exactly. It's like, no, because they can't borrow my books because they'll bring them back all bent up.
Yeah, that's right.
Or I won't get them back.
Right.
Yeah, or I won't get them back. They can only have my used books. Any of my ones that are nice and pretty, they couldn't take those out of the library.
I have people ask me, can I borrow? And I'm like, no, that's what libraries are for.
Right.
Feel free to put it on hold at your library.
I let a cousin borrow one of my books, and it came back with the spine all bent and everything and all that stuff in the pit. And I was like, never again. I never let anybody borrow anything ever. Like, that's it. Nope. But I'm reading 2 or 3 times more than I read while I was working. Once I go back to work, that's going to go way down.
Yeah.
So maximize it while I can. Yeah.
Nice.
Not a sci-fi fan either, not even in movies or shows. So I was hesitant about Hail Mary. Glad I pushed through though, because now I kind of want to read more sci-fi. There you go. I read like storm range, romance, horror, mystery, suspense, thrillers, and so forth. I like that. And V says the least fave this month is Felix Ever After by Kason Calendar. It was very sad, 1.5 stars. Bummer. Is there a Christmas readathon with BBB? Not sure how it works. I missed the prompts.
I don't know what BBB is.
Me either.
I know there's the one on the Killing Time of Cozies, right?
Yeah.
Which I have picked books for.
There's a few prompts you don't have to have cozies.
I know.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll have more, because I was like, I might do a couple of prompts, but then when she's like, you can do it, because I was, oh, okay, because like the Christmas, like read a Christmas book or whatever, and I was like, can it be a Christmas romance?
I may have thrown in a few cowboy Christmas books because it's me.
There you go. I got lucky that 2 of my next books in series are both Christmas ones, and they're cozy. I'm like, oh, that worked out perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm really not sure what BBB is.
I don't know. And Sherry says, I am at that point myself. Okay, so yeah, we're both not getting very far in that book.
So
because I was like, I'll just check it back out and read it next month. But the more I think about it, the more I don't really want to. I don't really want to. So I'm like, if I don't want to, then I have too many romances to read next month.
There you go.
I know which one you're talking about. It is. Right.
Is it the portrait collections?
Oh, a companion.
Jessica, is that one, right? The Complete Guide to the Babysitter's Club. Inside, it's like, here's all the information on Claudia. Here's blah, blah, blah. And somebody's phone number because I bought this at a thrift store.
Does it make you want to call it and see if anybody
does, right? And a full map of Stony Brook.
I would love that.
I got this actually at Thrift Books. It's the cool thing about this is, and this is totally me geeking out, but it's like, so they talk about, like, for example, the family, and they've got Christy's mom. So it's like she's 37 or something, and then it will quote what book that came from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I wanted this job to put this book together.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm like, here, you want to know about Claudia? Let me just tell you right now. You don't even need to read the book. I can tell you everything about her right now.
But now that I'm thinking about it, Christy's mom is only 37. I am older than Christy's mom. But I think that's one you mean.
Annie, stop reading cozies right now. She says, I think I'm not in the mood for another hate-love trope between detectives and my MC Elementary she read. Just like, oh, because that's how most of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Though I just finished Tuesday Night Survivors Club by Lynn Cahoon, and it was kind of refreshing that she didn't want to date the detective. She wants the detective's best friend or the friend of the detective or whatever. And her friend likes the detective. So it was kind of a switchy. So I was like,
I was just looking at that one on the library. Is that any good? Like, is it a cozy or is it more of a police procedural?
It's a cozy.
Okay.
And it's a cozy about cancer survivors.
Okay.
And
awesome.
I was a little worried that it would be too heavy on like the whole cancer issues and stuff, but I didn't feel like it. It didn't make me like, oh, there's a lot of cancer talk.
Yeah.
It was just, they're recovering from breast cancer and things like that.
Okay.
They started a book club that turned into a sleuthing club.
as these things do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is there any other way, really?
Yeah, really. And said, I tried Run, Rose, Run and DNF'd it. That sounds sad coming from a James Patterson fan. Well, it's a little different probably than a lot of the other ones with the whole Dolly Parton thing. So maybe. Says, yeah, the same. That went out the window when I read Catcher in the Rye. Storm, now you know how I feel when I say you don't like the bibliophile series that have stabbed in the heart. I know. But I'm still going to give the book 2 a try. I might end up enjoying it after a while. And says, that's for me. For me, it was name of the wind, DNFing and stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, my first audiobook was Discovery of Witches.
Poor you.
Wow.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Nothing happens.
It's such a great book.
We're the total opposites of that one.
All 3 of them right there. Where my favorites are.
Everybody keeps telling me to read it, that I'm going to love it. And I'm like, I'm not committing to that.
It really depends. I was really surprised when my friend loved the trilogy. She absolutely loved it because I just didn't really think it was going to be her thing. But I'm like, have you ever tried it? They've got the show is coming out. Do you want to read it? And she's like, sure. 5-starred them all. So she really liked it. So I was like, wow. Sarah, are you still reading Outlander in July? Yeah.
July and August, yes.
My first audiobook was on cassette tape, too. My first audio was on cassette for the Airframe by Michael Crichton. How did you make it through them? I gave mine up. I tried audiobook with Romance Book Club. The steamy romance is weird for audio. Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a fast forward button for a reason.
But you kind of get used to it. It still does. It doesn't bother me so much anymore unless for some reason it's a male narrator. If it's a male narrator, it weirds me out. I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh, she was thinking of Beach Bum Bookworm instead of Killing Time. Okay.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah, they're still doing the Christmas in July on the Discord. Mm-hmm. So if you are in the Discord, there is a channel that says Christmas in July, and it has all the prompts and everything listed there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. You know which one?
That's
no Storm, but I'm a mood reader. They have so many random guidebooks for babysitting. I'm 30. I don't need to know how many babysits. How to babysit. Thank you. I wish I still had my babysitting club.
I had both board games. I had the planner. I had all of the calendars. I still wish I had the calendars.
Mm-hmm. I have trouble with historical books. Mm. See, I have trouble with fantasy books, and audiobooks help me with fantasy books. That's how I can make it through a lot of fantasies, which I think if I could get the Keeper of the Lost City on audio, I would probably enjoy it more.
Do better.
Because I could probably get through it because they're so big. But they're only Audible exclusive, so.
Nonfiction and classics, for me, are great for audio.
Speaking of, so because I had nothing else to do in July, I picked up an Audible Plus, and then now that I realized was only limited till July 28th. So I guess after that, it's going to go off of the freebies, and that's The Count of Monte Cristo.
Did you put it in your library?
What do you mean, downloaded it?
Well, save it or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so it's only on Audible Plus until the 28th.
Yeah, so I'm assuming
I follow. Okay, my apologies.
When it's going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
So
now you've got 28 days to read it, is what you're saying.
To read books I can't stand because I don't like classics. I don't know why I'm pushing myself to read them, but I'm like, oh, let's just throw this in the mix here.
But can't you get it from your library? Would your library not have it on audio?
Yeah, no, it would, and I'm sure I can get it for nothing. I saw it and I was like, oh, perfect. Let me get it right now. And motivate myself to do this. And I'm like,
what I was doing 20 minutes ago.
And I'm like, I'm not motivated to do this. So let's see how far this goes.
By the way, Lee, I have my friend going to do your Jaws readathon.
Yay! Thank you.
I said, look at this. I showed her and she goes, a Jaws readathon, because she's like a big horror fanatic and everything.
Nice.
So I was like, I'm pretty sure she could probably find horror books to fit all the little parts.
Oh, my husband was so excited. He's like, wait, you mean we're going to willingly watch Jaws? I'm like, we were watching Jaws anyway. You were going to force me. So this is not like a thing, but
Jaws is on Peacock, so I'm said I'll watch Jaws. I won't read it. I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
And for anybody that wants to watch Jaws 2 or Revenge, feel free to use those two. You don't have to watch just Jaws, the first one. Why you'd want to watch 3 or 4, I don't know, but go ahead.
I'm still holding on to some of my VHS too. I still have some. I don't have anything to watch them on, but I have them.
There you go.
Oh,
no. I can't get rid of them. I have like Pillow Talk and all kinds of stuff, like the old ones. Cary Grant movies and Rock Hudson movies. I can't let those go.
The original Babysitters Club movie I have on VHS.
I have come to love audiobooks. At first, not so much. Now I watch them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the series on Netflix? Okay.
I remember trying to listen to certain books where the tapes were twisted and I got all horrible feelings. I get to that. LOL. I'll watch John. I'm reading a shark book for my Jaws prompt. So
that's fun.
I was like, this is a perfect time to do that. So I'm gonna
like
Trent by Steve Alton. It's the second Meg book.
Oh yeah.
And my friend's gonna buddy read. That's our buddy read for like next month.
Nice.
I was like, you have to read a shark book for the shark prompt. It just sounded right. LOL, the third and fourth Jogga sucked.
Yeah, they do.
I ate VHS tapes are my favorite music artists. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up because I know it's late for you guys. So I started listening to Jaws, and it is so much scarier than the movie. The victims describing what they are feeling like. Maybe if I listened to Jaws, but the book, reading it was boring. And with Netflix hadn't gotten rid of the series as good, but my OG movies still untouchable.
I have my own thoughts on the Netflix series and why they got rid of it.
I have my own thoughts on the Netflix series, period, but I'll keep them to myself.
Yeah, and I think you and I are probably along the same wavelength of that. And I think the majority of the people watching the series were those of us who read the books as kids. Yeah. Those weren't the books that we read.
Correct.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you can't take something from then and make it modern to fit the whole like stuff.
Especially you're expecting. Right, the people that are going to watch it are people that read the books. So,
like my niece who was 12, she couldn't care less.
Exactly.
Right? The people who were watching it were us. And I loved, I didn't mind the casting, but you can modernize it, but then you can take it too far.
You changed things that were very important parts of
extremely important
of people's characters and lives and things that happened in the future. You take that away, it's not the same thing.
Agreed.
And see, I could probably watch it and be like, "Oh, it's
right." You wouldn't know any different, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't know any different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Understandable. They did a lot with old TV show. Yeah.
I have to say though, the casting for Christy was spot on. Claudia was spot on. Even Christy's mom, I'm like, yay, Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, a lot of that, the casting, I was like, all right, cool, I'm good with this. It was just the big changes and things that, again, Storm watching it, you'd have no idea. You're just rolling with it, but anybody else is like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I'm sure if I did, I would just.
I've
only read the first one in graphic novel form, so that's
right.
all
right. So you have no idea anything that goes on beyond that. So.
And I kept saying to myself as I was watching one, "That's not what happens. That's not what happens. That's not what happens."
Right. Or when you have in your head, in my head, I have what Jamie Newton looks like. Don't tell me anything different. You know what I mean? That type of thing.
And yeah, and I get it was for a different time, but that was the whole point. It was a different time. Right. It's nostalgia for us, and that's what it was for.
Yeah.
I never watched Glow. I never watched that. So.
I mean, I watched Glow, the actual wrestling show, as well as the Netflix show. So, by the way, just want to say that I met my hot wrestler on Saturday, and
I saw your pictures. Now, who was that?
His name is Wardlow.
I just like, oh, there's two pictures. Wrestler, I can clearly see that.
Yeah, he is an actor, and you know what? This was like his first ever public appearance ever.
Oh wow, really?
So I was like, "You must be nervous." He goes, "I thought no one was going to show up," and I'm like, "Oh no!" Like there was a line like outside or whatever. He was like so super nice and everything. So
yeah. You don't think that they get like nervous and like shy or whatever, because they're like these big like star like
but
they're people to people.
Yeah, he was like, "This is my first thing." Yeah, he was like scared no one was going to show up, but no.
Aw.
Yeah, he was really.
Why would nobody show up? I saw the pictures.
There was a line outside. Believe me, people were coming to see him.
Just goes to show you need to read for yourself and not go by what others think. We all are different. Yep, that is so true. It was weird. The second season was super special too. It was odd.
The second season, I don't think they did a super special. But what also took me off is that they were all completely out of order. I'm like, what are you doing? Sorry. Parts of it just made me twitch.
I get you.
Netflix does cancel a lot of those after like three or four seasons or whatever it is. But then there's some that you think, why don't you canceled that yet? And they still go.
Yeah, I hear about a show. I feel like I just heard about it. In like season 5, I'm like, where's this show been at? I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Wow, that is so cool that you got to meet Wardlow. Oh, lead audio. That's why I was like, I saw the pictures. Why wouldn't anybody show up?
It's like when I was getting my last tattoo, I was in there, and the girl who did it, she had like all of her pictures up on the thing. There's a picture of her with Jason Momoa. I'm like, is that legitimately him? She goes, oh yes. And I'm like, really? I said, and you didn't run off with him to marry him somewhere on an island?
That's so funny.
But then Netflix also brings back shows that people want them to bring back and make a couple of seasons at least, because that's what they did for my Longmire. So
that's what they did with Lucifer, and I thought what they did on Netflix was way better. So I'm like, all right, sometimes it works out.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new. I don't know. I started to watch. I think is there 6 seasons now or 5 of Lucifer?
I believe there were 6.
Okay, so I think I started watching 5, and I was like, "This is weird," and I quit with the whole twin or brother or whatever it was.
That's weird.
Two of them around. I'm like, so I never finished it. I should but I don't know. I was just like, what did they do to my show?
Exactly. No, there was a point where it got weird.
I will not touch Jaws in any form with a 10-foot pole or 100-yard pole, but I will participate in Lee's readathon and just pretend that it's called Guppies and Go Fish.
I love it.
Oh, there you go. You need to add his picture to the hot tub hottie, Lee. And Nancy didn't like Keeper of the Lost Cities, DNF, the first one. See, I gave the first one 5 stars. I really liked it, and then it just kind of went took a nosedive. Okay, so we need to go so you guys can go to sleep because it's getting late for you guys. It's only like 9:30 something for me, but I know it's 10:30 for you. So thank you guys for being here and having fun with us and everybody in the chat. And next time, I don't know, is anybody doing anything on Wednesday? Are you going to do, Sarah, or did you ever?
No, I have a conversation. Tiffany and I are having a chat that night about a potential
collab.
Okay, so then I guess the next one will be Saturday. Saturday, the 2nd.
I thought about doing something Thursday or Friday, but again, I didn't want to step on anyone's toes just because I'm off.
I don't think you would be stepping on anybody's toes.
I'll reach out just to make sure.
I think because Mr. Fancy was kind of like, if you wanted to do something, go for it. But if you just want to run it by him, I don't think it would be a problem.
I will just to make sure. I just, like I said, fair. And if you guys aren't busy on either of those nights, let me know.
Yeah, I'm not busy.
Strug's like, I know.
I'm not busy. I don't do it.
I know. Lee's got a wrestling.
Yes, it's on Wednesday, so I'm fine after that.
Oh, my husband's mad because it's his first day of work on Wednesday, and he works nights.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Saturday the 2nd is the Killing Time with Cozy's chat at noon EST, so Eastern, and I think it's just a regular chat.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
And
usually the first ones are regular chats.
yeah, Hannah, if you're asking for a meeting on my channel on Monday because it's 4th of July, absolutely we are.
Okay.
I don't like fireworks. I don't like anything about 4th of July. That is my least favorite holiday. So, yes, we will be doing
I like what it represents.
Yes.
Like the fireworks.
Yeah. As far as Independence Day, yes,
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it. But
Yeah.
none of the things unless you guys want to come over and grill, we can have some hot dogs and burgers, sure. Other than that, I'm not into any of it. But yes, we will have a show on Monday.
So maybe I'll do Friday night.
That'd be fine.
Okay. I'll set something up this week.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, so there you go. Perfect. We never do anything on the 4th. So it's like us. If we do anything, it's go to the store, buy some brats and some like potato salad, and Dad's like, put it in the microwave, make it. Oh, there, look, it's fixed. It's 4th of July. There we go. There you go.
Wave a little flag and be done with it.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay, everybody. So have a good evening.
All right, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.